You're welcome back to the conversation in News Central Television. In the first half of the program, we did look at Rwanda back in the UK court ruling on its deportation plans and the UK deportation plans to send asylum seekers to Rwanda. It's time for us to switch gears and look at the situation in Nigeria, where the Director General of the Labour Party Campaign Council, Dr. Doyin Okupe, has announced his resignation from the party's campaign council. Dr. Okupe, who served as a senior special assistant to former President Goodluck Jonathan, was found guilty of receiving over 200 million naira cash from a former National Security Advisor, retired Colonel Sambo Dasuki, thereby violating the Money Laundering Act. In a letter addressed to the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, Okupe requested the appointment of a new Director General to continue from where he stopped as he seeks to resolve what he described as his personal travails. Now, joining us live to discuss this, we have Dr. Tanko Yunusa, a spokesperson, Third Force Coalition for Labour Party. We also have Ayoola Lawal, the candidate of the People's Redemption Party in Lagos for the Federal House of Representatives. A warm welcome to you, gentlemen, and thanks for joining us on the conversation.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, I'd like to start with you, Dr. Yunusa. What's your reaction to the resignation of Dr. Doyin Okupe as the Director General of the Labour Party Campaign Council?
Nice to be here.
Now, Dr. Yunusa, what's your reaction to the resignation of Dr. Okupe as the Labour Party DG of the Campaign Council? Well, I think we lost Dr. Yunusa. Ayoola, would you like to take that question? What's your reaction to the resignation of Dr. Doyin Okupe? Hello, Dr. Yunusa, you need to unmute your mic, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. What's your reaction to the resignation of Dr. Okupe?
Okay. Now, can I go on, please?
Yes, please go on.
Okay, as I said, when the whole matter started, we were really taken aback. It was actually a rude shock to us. But I must say here that Dr. Okupe is an excellent Democrat. We call him the Oracle because of the way he performs his duties. He does it with diligence and decorum, with a lot of respect for the democratic tenets. And that is the kind of person that Dr. Doyin Okupe is. And so when it all came to our table that he has resigned, it was an exemplary performance by an individual. He took the decision on his own. There was no any pressure on him. He was one that took the decision, a personal decision, which is the normal doctrine that goes in a democratic setting. So we are proud of him. And then he also come to realize that this particular movement is not about one person. It's a collective interest. It's the interest of the North, West, South, and East. Nigeria is a deep shit, a deep problem. And then Dr. Doyin Okupe was not ready to mortgage his own personal interest at the interest of the collective. And so he decided to resign. But then we took it as one of those things that happen in a campaign, but it also goes to show how clean we can be and accountable to the people. Democracy is about the rule of law and order. And so if we agree to the rule of law and order, even though we have our own misgiving as regards to the judgment, he has resigned so that he can have an opportunity to go and clear his name. Because it is very clear to us that the Labour Party and our campaign is under siege. There's a serious attack on us, starting with the issue of registration, moving to the issue of getting our PVCs, campaign billboards were being destroyed. We went ahead again to ensure that we are secured, but no, they go to our base and destroy INEC property and the rest of them.
Now, quick one, Dr. Yunusa, before I move to Ayoola, quick one, Dr. Yunusa, how will this resignation affect the Labour Party's chances at the polls? Do you see it as something that might have a multiplier effect?
Not at all, because it will just strengthen us so that we can now look deeper within us. Because let me tell you the truth, the obedient movement and all of us, we are actually ready that there will be attack on us. We know that those people that have already masterminded and perfected the idea of challenging and stealing our collective matrimony will not let it go at ease. And so we are prepared for all of this particular attack, but then not at this high level of scale, even lives being lost at this particular moment. So with regard to our campaign, the campaign is getting stronger. As we speak, I am in River State in Port Harcourt. We just left Uyo. Some of our people are already in Calabar. So we are already cascading down because we have almost like finished 4 states in the south-south. And you can see how our campaign was in Edo, in Uyo, and now in Calabar. Now we are in Port Harcourt. So these are the things that you should expect. The campaign is getting stronger. This is the first time the Nigerian youth will come out en masse to support a candidate in Peter Obi. And he himself has come out to say that this particular, nothing will deter him from continuing to fight for the Nigerian people. That is exactly what we are doing. So the campaign is going to go on stronger.
Thank you, Dr. Yunusa. I would like to bring in Ayoola. Ayoola, some observers have questioned the timing of the judgment and said it was a politically motivated ruling. They said the APC flag bearer, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should have been convicted for bringing bullion vans into his house on the eve of the 2019 elections. What are your thoughts on this?
Thank you very much for that question. I think on the issue of conviction of Dr. Doyin Okupe, I strongly believe that Asiwaju should not be brought into this issue because this issue started in 2019. And 3 years is even too long for the judgment to have been made. We were talking about democracy and we really meant well for our country, Nigeria. I think we should ask the right question and not just because of the timing or whatever might have happened to say, oh, it's politically motivated. Was Dr. Doyin Okupe involved in money laundering? That's the first question. Has he been taken to court before he joined Labour Party? That's another question. Was he guilty? That's another question. The timing should not really be an issue here if we are really talking about revamping our country and getting it right.
But Ayoola, in the same light, people say, you know, looking at the Nigerian judiciary, the speed at which, you know, this judgment was made suggests that it was politically motivated. Are you telling us that, I mean, it's...
Well, we have this is my own opinion. You see, I'm here to put my own opinion across. It's not about what people are saying. You get what I'm saying? I've lived in a full democratic country, and most of the people talking about democracy here in this country does not even understand what full democracy is all about. Everything is politically motivated in whatever is being done. But on Dr. Okupe, I think we should look beyond the timing because it's not Peter Obi. It was just Doyin Okupe who was involved in a criminal issue. We should take it like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ayoola. Now, staying on the issues of elections as we inch towards the 2019 elections, there's been a series of debates, campaigns have been ongoing. Would you say you're satisfied with the level of discussions that has been happening, the level of campaign and engagement by the major candidates that are vying for the highest office in the land? Are you satisfied they issue-based campaigns? What's your take on the electioneering season so far?
Well, so far, I could say we're growing. It is not too bad, but my expectations have not been met. People, you just spoke about the major candidate now. You've never mentioned about entire candidates involved in this campaign. People are just too focused on just two or three or four major candidates. I think you guys could do better than focusing on the entire candidates that are coming in rather than just 2 or 3 ones that are being promoted by the media. Going by the level of the campaign, it has not been too impressive because they have not really nailed it by the head what they are going to do. You know what I'm saying? How they are going to save our country from the issues, the vices we are facing. Most of them have been talking one way or the other about, on the surface really, but to me, a lot could be done, and I could still give them, they could do more better before the election proper. Thank you.
Now, Ayoola, Nigeria's bloodiest election period followed the 2011 elections, which was also, ironically, the most credible electoral process. Up to that point, the announcement of that the incumbent president, Goodluck Jonathan, had won the election and the main opposition candidate, Buhari, had lost, resulting in 3 days of violent riots and communal unrest that left at least 800 people dead. Elections are a civic exercise. Are you worried about the prospects of post-election violence in 2023?
Well, basically, I'm worried about the entire process.
Can you share some of some of your concerns and reservations with us, please?
Yeah, because I can make myself, I can use myself as a reference. You know, in Lagos State, in which I'm contesting, you know, my people, my volunteers, my team have been harassed, have been terrorized to the extent that I had to visit the area commander to report this issue, and also wrote a petition in which I copied the international bodies. You know, however, and what we've been hearing in other parts of the country, burning INEC facilities, buying of vote and all that, you know, there are quite issues that what to be concerned about. And I hope and I pray we get it right this time around.
Ayoola, I'm glad you personalized this. In the case of your campaign, who are those responsible?
Yeah,
what do they want? And why are they disrupting your campaign activities?
Well, basically, on my own issue, it were the people that claim to be APC.
Hello, Ayoola, are you there? We seem to be having some connection issues. Are you still with us, Ayoola?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, yes.
I'm back now.
Yes.
On my own issue, people harassing my volunteers claim to be APC sympathizers, claim to be working for APC, particular candidate that I'm contesting against in APC, you know, and in order to avoid violence in my area, I tend to took it forward so that I spoke with some of my colleagues, some of my friends in the European countries, in EU Parliament, and they advised on what to do regarding taking it internationally. And I did that, and also locally to ensure that, I reported everything back home first, and I've already taken it in.
Okay, we seem to be having connection issues with Ayoola there. We're currently discussing the resignation of the Director General of the Labour Party campaign organization, Dr. Doyin Okupe.